Hello, everybody. My name is Philip Booth. I'm one of the solution architects here at Augment Code, and today I'll be taking you through a couple of use cases, both linear ticket to technical spec, as well as linear ticket to PR, both built on top of Augment Cosmos. So to get started, we need to integrate with linear to make sure that we can both pull linear information as well as push information to our associated tickets. This is my demo environment, so I already have linear configured, so I'll go to a fresh environment so I can take you through this process. So we have a native linear integration. You can log in via OAuth, give it read access to your workspace, write access, and then you can choose the teams that you want to integrate with. So all public teams, or maybe you want only a specific team. I'll go ahead and use all teams, and then I will go through the process of authorizing. And just like that, you have linear configured in just a couple of clicks. I want to start by showing you the building blocks to make this work. What you just saw is integrating with linear. And then I also built two experts that are both going to be used in this demonstration. The first is my linear demo spec drafter. So what this expert does is it watches the SA Sandbox team, right, in linear for tickets labeled with need specification. And then it will grab the information from that ticket thematically, leverage our context engine with the contextual understanding of our code base to turn a ticket that doesn't necessarily have a lot of detail to it to a very detailed technical specification. So when you take a look at this expert, it has a name, user instructions, an environment that it's associated with, the model that it leverages, and then it gives it a system prompt for essentially the behavior that you want it to perform when it's called upon. We also have this concept of integrations, web fetch, GitHub app, as well as linear. That will be quite critical in order to write back to those linear tickets. And then I could associate MCP servers if I wanted to do that. So now that I have the expert, and if I take some time to go back, you see I have two experts here, one for spec drafting and one for taking that detailed specification and actually turning it into a PR. We can go through the process of setting up our automations. So if I go to my automation tab here, you can see that I have two of them. And if I go into the details of this automation, it will show you that the name of this trigger is SA Box needs spec label. And it's taking a look at if a ticket is created or updated, its team is part of SA Box and its label is updated to needs specification. So when I go to a ticket that exists and I update that label to needs spec, then it will trigger that automation to run my expert. To go ahead and get started, we can come in here and take a look at our linear sandbox. We have a ticket I want to pick up here. I'll say box 188, add carrier API clients. So this ticket is an ask to create dedicated API clients for FedEx, UPS, and the US Postal Service as well. As you can see, this ticket is very high level. It use a detailed technical specification to really kind of hone in on the technical aspects of our code base that needs to be changed. So if I go ahead and update this ticket with needs spec, you can come back into the Cosmos platform. Click on sessions, and in just a few seconds here, I should see a new session get spun up that starts working on that. And that's what we see here. So what happened is that event changing that label to need specification on the ticket was fired. I've been able to pick up that event, and then a new session inside of Cosmos is being spun up with that expert, my spec drafter, to turn around, use the technical understanding of my code base, leveraging our context engine to come up with a detailed technical implementation plan that I can post back on that ticket. So we'll go ahead and stop here and pick this back up when our agent finishes its work. It seems like our expert has finished its work. Let's take a look at what it did. It was able to come in here, leverage a context engine, write a comprehensive spec, and then it swaps the label on the ticket, need spec, to specification ready, and then it posts that specification back to linear so that it's tied directly to that ticket. So if I come back in here, the ticket that didn't really have a lot of detail associated with it now has a very detailed implementation spec that we can leverage. Okay, we're creating separate files for each of the carriers. And this is a very, very detailed technical spec of what needs to be implemented. So now that I have this, once again, I can start a new workflow where I can change this spec ready to ready to implement. And once again, what I should see here is if I come back to my list of sessions, that I have another session getting started for me that's going to take that detailed technical implementation plan that's tied to that ticket, and it's actually going to turn that into working code in a PR. So what we'll do here is we'll let this agent do its work, and then we will pick this back up when it's finished. Right, it seems like we have finished our work here. So the first thing that our expert did was it updated the label on that ticket to Cosmos Dispatch just to make sure that it wouldn't get picked up again. And then it went on here. It dispatched our PR author, so the expert that we have in the system that specializes in generating pull requests. And that's it. From there, we have a working PR. I can come into GitHub here and click on it to get a sense of what the PR was that was created. It has a nice detailed summary as well as all of the code changes. And my PR author is sitting here. It is watching the changes just in case anybody leaves a comment or there are any CI failures. It can automatically pick those up and fix those for me. And if I head back into Linear to take a look at the ticket, I see that the PR has been opened and that is also linked to the ticket. So there we go. That is our ticket to specification, as well as our ticket to PR workflow built on top of Cosmos.